welcome to the Point in Progress podcast, episode 22. Your one-stop shop for news, recommendations, and some spicy takes. Join 5 friends across 3 time zones in 2 countries every week as we discuss all things we love while still thinking critically of them. I'm your host this evening, Fee, the person who decided to flip their hair. For people who are watching on YouTube, we took a long time to discuss that actual opening. So we're here gonna.
I'm happy you didn't put the headphones on afterward.
Yeah, I was taking from the slow, like, what is it? Just like
you had to add to the drama.
I quit.
As it hits her in the face.
And the concussion count starts off.
There we go.
All right, guys. Hope you guys have been having a great week. I'm not specifically sure why our checkpoint this week is Steve Buscemi, but here we are.
Oh, that is not Steve Buscemi.
I don't know who that is.
That is
What?
William Dafoe.
Oh, that's William Dafoe, yeah.
Sorry,
Or Willem
I
Dafoe.
apologize.
The Green Goblin.
Wait, the Green Goblin from the Tobey Maguire movies.
Hold on.
That's what I saw. Okay, I'm gonna be honest
Antichrist.
with you. On my screen, I saw literally a stretched out, flattened picture. So I had like.
Oh, okay, that's
fair.
weird.
To be fair, a stretched out flattened picture of Willem Dafoe gives you Steve Buscemi, so you're not far off.
Yeah, I mean, okay, on my screen, it's like I made it small enough so that you can still see it.
I just want to say that a part of the thumbnail this week is going to have the stretched out picture, and it's going to be like, "This is what I saw," because y'all can't come for me.
Yeah. Look at that smile. Can you guys see when I enlarge that picture with myself?
Oh no.
Now it's gigantic and stretched out.
I now see
That's
him.
what. Oh,
I'm just gonna say, I'm gonna show you guys. I'll post in the actual Point in Progress Discord what I saw, and I'm also going to be posting it on Twitter, and it's going to say, "This is what I saw, and this is why I said Buscemi." All right. So apparently
Is
we
this
have.
still the intro to our podcast?
It
Yes.
sure is.
Yes.
You know what? It's chaos. I've had a very long week.
Chaos.
I'm still recovering. So here we are. Next portion of it, and that was the housekeeping. Next part is what we've been playing this week. I'm going to skip over Frank, Harv, and I for a while.
sounds about right.
Going to ask Mario. I know today you got to go out to the movie theaters, get a little bit of like normalcy today, and I just want to hear about it. What have you been playing, and what have you been getting up to?
So the fact that you mentioned that I went to the movies, I of course went to the movies with my lovely friend Frank, who joined me on a journey as we went to go see Suicide Squad, even though we could watch it at our own homes.
Yeah.
But the big
Could
thing,
have saw it yesterday for free.
could have saw it yesterday too. It dropped at like 5 o'clock. It was pretty great. We got to see it in 40X, which is, if you don't know what that is the chairs move, rumble, punch you in the back, shoot water in your face, blow air on you. Steam shows up in the middle of the screen. Supposedly it rains on you, and some other fun effects.
Disneyland? What the fuck is happening?
Yeah, so it's Regal has this patent on something called 40X, where basically it attractionizes the movies, where the movies have a along with them a basically set of movements that are associated to the movie itself. So when someone is being stabbed, you get like a slight jab in the back.
It moves the seat around up back and forth when someone's getting stabbed.
No, I'm out.
Or like they had a scene where like a car was getting flipped over, so the whole thing was like doing this and shit.
I'm out.
Yeah.
I'm out.
Water
It's
sprays in the
definitely-
face.
It just sounds. It sounds exactly like the Honey, I Shrunk the Kids at Disneyland.
Yeah.
It is
That's, like,
that.
literally exactly.
it's
what it
that.
sounds
It's a
like.
really fun experience for the first time, but after almost about an hour and 30 minutes of it, you kind of the effect kind of wears away, and I'm like, I just want to watch the fucking movie. Stop moving, please.
After I get sad for an hour, I'm like, all right, I'm good.
Yeah, after you get water sprayed in your face as you're eating popcorn, it's just like.
Now, this is the second time I've done this experience. I've done this in LA at the first actual 40X place that they had it, and it was a much better experience. I watched Warcraft. When I did it, and if you watch that movie, there's a lot of eagles, and so a majority of the movie is just
shitting on
flying
you.
around.
Eagles just dropping shit.
Like simulated shit coming down.
all that water. You thought it was rain. No, it's shit.
So in that when I went there, it was raining on us, like because there's rain scenes and it will actually drip on us. For some reason, in the theater we went to, it wasn't raining. Now, granted,
It was for a little bit, and then it stopped.
yeah, it was very odd. But the one thing that I'm just gonna bring it up because I feel bad. Me and Frank, we had seats, and I couldn't fit in it. I got a big fat booty. Okay, so I decided to go down to where the handicap chairs were because the actual arms move. For some reason, the arms just don't move at the other section. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna just go down here, be more comfortable. Frank then joined me. He sat next to me. As the movie starts, we're like, oh, here we go. We're shuffling around. And in the middle of the first action scene, the chair just goes ka-clunk and stood there for like 10 minutes. And we're like, why is everybody else moving? And we're just sitting still. And apparently it broke in mid both of me and him sitting in it.
I will say that we weren't we do our daily ritual, so I had no idea what the fuck happened halfway through there.
Sure.
Like
Sure.
I was just like watching this movie. I'm like, this is fun, and then Mario's just like, the seat doesn't work, and I'm like,
because I'm hanging hanging this way, and I'm like, the chair doesn't move back, and I'm watching everybody else, and their chairs are like going like this.
I'd be like, good. Let me not fucking move this
Yeah.
chair.
The problem
God.
though is that
no,
it was
because we're
gangster-linging.
sitting at like a fucking we're in like a weird angle. I'm over here just like slowly sliding this way, just like stoned out of my mind watching a movie.
Yeah,
and I'm
like you put your feet on a
"This is
conveyor
great."
belt, you put your feet like on a thing, and you're supposed to like ride with it. But I was touching the ground, and I was like, "What's going on?" So we separated. He went up front. I went to the other one that was moving, and then the rest of the movie was totally fine. It was shaking around. The movie great, probably one of the best DC movies that I've seen ever. That worked as a comic book what I mean by the actual comic book. Even if I knew nothing of the source material or has anything to do with the source material, you just told James Gunn, here's $100 million, make a movie that functions like a comic book and film.
James Gunn literally went into the studio and said, "Let me do whatever the fuck I want, and I'll make a hit movie." And that's exactly what happened.
Yeah, and this is gonna.
He did whatever he wanted with this movie, and it's great. It's great.
Well, I'm happy to hear that because I
am. Yeah, I'm so excited to hear that because I have not watched any of the recent DC live action movies.
Yeah.
Because I just am not emotionally prepared to have my heart broken by how bad they are.
Sure.
So if this one's actually good, I'll watch it.
Yeah. I highly recommend this and Birds of Prey. If you're gonna watch any of them, those are the two ones I watch.
Fee?
Okay.
Yeah, Fee.
Said you were gonna say something?
Oh no, I was just gonna say like I'm happy to hear that it is actually good this time because I remember the first one and I was actually having a discussion with this earlier this week with Aaron and Jake. Is just like it felt like it was two different movies, the first one.
Yeah.
And so it was just like really good at the beginning and then like midway through they're like the Enchantress and you're like
Yeah.
why?
Yeah.
Why
Yeah.
They don't utilize any of the original
Did you know
characters
that
at
she-
all.
Did you know that?
No,
she
that's not true.
traps the
That's
soul?
not true. They do.
No, I mean like I'm talking about like in the first movie. They don't really utilize those characters
They
at
do.
all.
They do though. Captain
No,
Flag,
I'm not saying in the new movie.
They do.
I'm saying in the movie.
But they are.
Yeah, I'm just saying in that first movie that those characters are not like they're terrible
Oh.
versions of those characters.
Oh, I see. But
I
there are
got what you were saying.
but there's two characters that are from the first one that are three characters that are from the first one that are back in this one.
Yeah.
But I understand what
There
you're
is
saying.
continuity.
There-
Yeah.
But I understand what you're
Guys,
saying. Is
guys,
like their character
you
is
guys
not as good as
know-
this one.
Did you guys know that the Enchantress traps the souls of her enemies in her sword?
No, wrong
Yeah.
person. That is Katana. First of all, you're wrong.
Sorry,
Yeah.
that's Katana.
So-
See, that's how good. That's how
Fucking
good this
nerd.
movie was.
Second, I think Enchantress is the only one to successfully kill Batman in
the
somewhat of a
soundtrack's great.
canon.
the soundtrack was great for the first one, but the movie was just terrible.
I think-
and like,
Yeah,
continue.
I agree with you. I think the soundtrack definitely works better in this one though.
Okay, that's good to hear.
Yeah,
It
because I
feels
think
kind of like an Edgar Wright movie.
a little bit. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Well, if you love Guardians, you're gonna love this one because they pick
music-
needle drops, but they pick it for a specific reason, and I think they're awesome.
Yeah, the music definitely drives the movie more than a lot of scenes, like dialogue drives the movie.
Yeah, as opposed to like, hey, you like this heavy rock version of like Joan Jett just because we need you to feel a certain emotion about a character. Like, it's, to me, that was cheap in the first one. In this one, it just felt more organic to the movie, even like diegetically in the movie, which I thought was great.
Yeah, I do feel like I think it's also the James Gunn where I think James Gunn is a good director and he kind of knows what he wants to do with the movie, especially being inside the comic book genre now for a while.
He's a good writer.
I think he had. I think he had more free reign here.
Oh
than
no,
he
he
does
had
in Marvel.
Yeah.
Let me tell you
So
something,
I think
Harv.
he put more in. Like
Yeah.
I think he had a more of like his own presence on it as well.
Yeah, he definitely had a lot more free reign here.
Yeah,
A
more
lot more
freedom.
free reign.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like 100% freedom.
Yet
Yeah.
felt
Yeah.
true to the comic counterparts. So I
No, but
Mm.
I mean, having freedom doesn't mean you're like having no like less freedom doesn't mean that you can't have that thing, right?
yeah.
Mm.
That's because he loves comic books. So as long as you give him more freedom, he's going to put more into that genre and have it more faithful to the adaptation and stuff like that, right? So
Funny you talk about freedom because this whole movie's about freedom. Fee, what's up?
They named the second movie The Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
Yes.
Not just Suicide
Mhm.
Squad, because
I think they
is,
make a
like,
joke about this in the
masking-
movie too.
Because I imagine because they mask, like, if you look up Suicide Squad, like, even though that's the name of the original movie, it
Sure.
only brings up the 2021 version unless you specifically type in 2016, like, yo, this
Oh, I
is
could-
the Suicide Squad, and the other one, you have to look for it.
Sure.
I can't even imagine what David Ayer is kind of like, feeling at this
You
point.
release the Ayer cut. Damn it.
Yeah, it's fun. I will say they do honor, if you really like that first one, they do honor certain things. And I think that they reinforce them into this movie. If you like that
Okay.
one, like, no, I won't say it, but there's
Yeah,
stuff,
they make jokes. They make jokes
or
about the first one.
slight references,
Yeah.
which is good because they're still in
Well-
the same continuity, but you can just totally
what-
ignore it.
I will
entirely.
say this: if you're going into the movie and expecting them to pause the movie and have like a 45 minute flashback for each character, that's not this type of movie. This movie does not give a
Good.
shit if you know these characters or not. They'll give you some exposition on them, enough
They give you
to
enough.
know enough
can't-
to know who they are and what they do,
And the
that's
motivation.
about it.
Yeah.
In a
That's
movie,
about it.
in a movie like this, you can't do that. There's too many
No,
characters.
It's always,
There's
and
way
that's the
too many
best part about it. It's constantly moving, and it's
Yeah.
great.
There's
I
too
mean,
many
like-
characters. Yeah.
Yeah, because I was gonna say, like, if they really want to do a background of each character, like, this is a great opportunity for them to fucking make a TV, like a 1-season TV show, and they're just like
was the same-
introduction to X, Y, and Z.
So
it was
funny.
the same thing with Guardians of the Galaxy as well, because like you can't get introduction to every character. You roll with
Yeah.
it, and you put little snippets, little like droplings of or seedlings of like not droplings, seedlings.
Yeah, drop.
Of,
What? It's the fucking. Is the eagle shit on me again?
Getting shit on in Warcraft again.
little seedlings of like what Rocket Raccoon was before and who he was.
Yes,
and
they
all that
do.
kind of
The
stuff,
way they
right?
do that, they apply that to the characters here.
Yeah.
They definitely put more spotlight on certain things, but I think that they did a well job. Especially there's like 20 characters, and the best part, nobody's safe. Nobody's safe. In
nobody's
this damn
safe.
movie. So that was that is pleasant, and that was our experience for Suicide
Yeah.
Squad. I'll quickly.
CLDR, if you like the first one,
Yeah.
don't go watch the second one because you probably won't like it. But if you hated the first one, you'll love the second one.
There-
First one was hot trash.
There you
The first
go.
one was hot trash. I've heard some people say like, "Wow, it's the best DC movie," and I'm like,
It's to me.
"What fucking universe are you talking about?"
I mean,
Well, wait.
I honestly
Oh,
would
the first
say
one.
that.
We're talking about 2016. Yeah, we're talking
Okay.
about 2016.
Yeah, I would
Over-
like.
Over Birds of Prey.
Here's the thing: up
No.
until like Birds of Prey came out, I would have said that Suicide Squad was literally the front runner because there was, I don't understand.
You're not wrong.
Like,
I mean, at the time, other movies were shit.
You're not
yeah,
wrong.
because comic book wise, DC like chefs.
Are we
kiss. I
talking
mean,
just the DCAU? Is that what we're talking
That's
about?
all we're talking
DCU?
about. We're not talking
Yeah.
about Batman
Live
89.
action.
Yeah.
The
Okay.
animated movies, perfect.
Because the animated movies are some of the best movies I've ever seen.
Chef's kiss.
Yeah.
Like,
I
I
thought
love
we
the
I
DC
thought we were
animated movies.
I thought we were gonna add the Nolan trilogy to it as well. and
No,
stuff like that, but
Nolan's stuff
they're
is too.
separate.
Well,
That's his own thing.
we'll wait till the Flashpoint happens and then we'll talk about it because we
Yeah,
have
wait
no
till-
idea.
Wait till
The-
we reboot this shit.
Apparently, the Tim Burton verse is in there, so who knows?
Oh my God. Well.
Anyways,
That's a whole other conversation. Yeah. So, what are some other things that you've been getting up to, Mario?
Thank
Before
you.
I move it over to Sly.
Quickly want to mention, I also watched a documentary on HBO Max called Woodstock. If you're a fan of 90s, 99 specifically, TRL culture at MTV, this was a big part of my life when I was a 9-year-old boy. And so watching it with the lens of, what they did and the culture of how we talk about stuff now is definitely very apparent, especially about white boy rage. It's very heavily in there, and they talk about some really horrific and crazy things that happened during Woodstock. So definitely worth a shot. It's a 2-hour documentary, but they go through all 3 days. It's pretty intense. I attended a concert as well today. I attended the Ariana Grande Fortnite Rift Tour
Oh,
concert,
God.
and it was incredible. I want them to do more stuff like this. It was fantastic. I had a blast.
You look at hers. You look at Travis Scott's.
Yes,
right.
Travis Scott's.
Marshmallow was the first one that they ever did with like that kind of type thing.
This is
On
incredible.
Yeah.
They need to keep doing this, and I know they will, because just this fun idea of it's like a free 10-minute concert that you just get to enjoy. And if you want to buy the skin of the person, like for instance, they had Travis Scott as a character that you can buy. You have Ariana Grande. I bought it, and it looked incredible, and it looked really cool while you're doing it, with the concert itself. And the visuals were just out of this world. And so I love the interactivity. There was a game element to it too, if you were sort of like Sonic the Hedgehog going through the tunnel, which is really cool. And then there was a shooting part, which had high scores. So it had a bunch of really interesting things that I thought are going to be awesome when it comes to, future bands. Give me My Chemical Romance one. That'd be so dope. And the last thing I want to talk about is I played a game called Death's Door. This is now becoming nearly one of my front runners of Game of the Year, right next to Loop Hero. It is fantastic. It is a roguelike Souls-like game, and I don't like those games.
I've heard mixed things, as in the aesthetic is really good, the ambiance of the game is really good. The
Yes.
combat is kind of lackluster.
I mean, it's to me, it's you swipe. That's it. You swipe and you don't get hit. But that's, to me, is fine. It's like, if it's baby's first Souls, at least it's introduced me to the concept of it, because it's very much like kill the monsters, get the souls, use that to level up my character. I only have 4 hits. If I get hit 4 times and I die, I have to start back over. Progression, stuff like that. New weapons. So as a smaller title, it's not going to be it's only a $20 game, but for the presentation, the music is fantastic. The moment Devolver drops that on digital or on vinyl, I'm buying it. And the characters, the models.
Same game? Is this the same game where they had at that one conference?
The Devolver conference?
No, at the PlayStation conference.
Probably not.
Okay, then what game was that where there's an old man pooping, and then there was that one.
Wait,
and then
excuse me?
then you go to different
I know
fight a Yeti.
You're talking.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, you're
right?
talking about the devil. Devil something. Yeah, but
The Devil's Booty Hole.
Definitely not that, but something close to
Okay.
it. But no, this is totally almost like Burton-esque design characters, very cool, very reminded me of Guacamelee and Shovel Knight in all the best ways. So I'm gonna move on. I talk too much. Continue.
No worries. I am very
The devil,
interesting.
the little devil inside. That's what it was
There it
called.
is.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah, little devil booty hoe.
Oh my God. Well, yeah, Devolver Digital. You're absolutely killing it this year. My game of the year is still Loop Hero. So you're killing it, guys. You're killing it. All right. We are going to move on and talk to Sly. Sly, what have you been getting up to this week? You said you're visiting parents. Did you get to play anything or get to listen to any content or view some stuff?
Yeah. So I was at my parents' get a I didn't have any consoles or anything for most of the time. So I've been working my way through the Marvel TV universe, all the Netflix shows and the Hulu shows and that kind of stuff. And then when I got back the other day, I tried to start one of like a million games and then gave up and just restarted Spider-Man PS4 again.
Valid.
So I'm back on bullshit. Do I have a million other new games that I should play? Yes. Am I just gonna swing around New York for the next week? Yes.
Valid.
So it's good to go back to a classic.
But
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, me and Mario were just
But
talking
yeah,
about like
most
when that game was gonna get its eventual sequel.
Yeah. I think when
I
the sequel is gonna
mean,
come out, I'm
yeah.
gonna play the first one for sure. Again.
It's great. Miles is great. I love both of those games so much. I don't know. But yeah, most of my time has been in the Marvel TV shows. And I have lots of thoughts and feelings.
Out of
Valid.
how many have you seen? Have you seen all of them, or are you still in the middle of some of them?
Not yet. So I'm going in like
Release
timeline
order?
order.
Okay. Season ones.
I don't know if it's
twos.
release order. Yeah.
Got it.
So I've seen 1 and 2 of Daredevil, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, Iron Fist, Defenders, Punisher, and then I just started Runaways,
Oh,
which is wild. Nothing makes sense. I have no idea what's going on. I'm on like maybe episode 5 or 6. I still don't know what the premise of the show is. So it's something.
Yeah. Can you go on the record and just tell us that Daredevil is perfect? Because it is.
No.
It's great.
No, I can't.
Damn.
Daredevil would probably be nearly perfect, but none of the blind actors or none of the blind characters are played by blind actors. So that detracts significantly from its quality for me. Other than that, Daredevil, pretty good. Just should hide blind actors. Come on, you have money, do it. Jessica Jones made me not sleep for David
season
Tennant's
1 is
terrifying.
fucked up. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Trauma.
It's fucked up.
Luke Cage, incredible. I loved Luke Cage. I thought season 1 was incredible. Iron Fist, that show was carried by Alex Wise and Barrett Doss, who are both incredible Broadway actors and were assistants that were barely in the show. Best part of the show. That's the nicest thing I can say about it.
I call that the white boardroom show. Every scene's in a boardroom.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking annoying.
I am Danny Rand, the immortal Iron Fist.
Yes.
Gosh. Defenders had that one scene where Luke was calling Danny on his bullshit, and that was everything I ever wanted a team up. And we got it, so I can't complain about Defenders. Punisher is PTSD the musical. And that's all I can say about that.
Yeah. It's
Well,
a little
music's
there's a little
great.
bit more there, but yeah, it's the PTSD stuff's more on the like it's definitely there, but that stuff is more taken care of on the Daredevil side.
Especially season 3, which is my
Yeah.
favorite of Daredevil, and why I think of that show so fondly, and the reason why people really want season 4. So very upset that we never got that. Hopefully it's rectified in the Spider-Man movie that everyone keeps talking about that doesn't exist.
One that will never be released.
Never released.
Yeah. Well, I hope your adventure through the MCU TV shows goes well. And I look forward to the next week's update on what you get up to when it comes to that, because I know there's probably a bunch more that you could watch.
Yeah. Daredevil season 3 though.
Daredevil season 3 is
I'm excited for it.
perfect.
I just have to get
so
through
good.
Runaways and Cloak and Dagger and whatever.
Yeah.
Runaways broke my
Keep in
heart
mind-
because I love that
There you go.
comic so
Yeah.
much.
Are those even canon technically? Runaways?
yes,
Is
if you
Humans
wa-
canon also?
If you watch Loki, anything could be canon.
Yeah.
I mean,
Anything could be now.
I mean, multiverse is multiverse, guys.
Yeah.
I'm shocked that they even said that some of this content before wasn't canon when they literally have a billion multiverses in that series. But I
Yes.
digress.
It was all canon at one point, and then they're just like, no, it's not.
Speaking of
It
multiverse,
was canon when it was made, and then it wasn't, and then now multiverses are happening, so
Who
everything's
knows?
canon.
Who
So
knows?
screw
Venom, canon.
all right, Jesus,
them.
canon. Yeah. Speaking of realms,
Oh,
and
I had
oh,
one more thing I wanted to talk about. I'm sorry.
no worries. What's up?
So I was also reading a bunch because I was at my parents', and I've been reading through the Binti trilogy, which is written by Nnedi Okorafor, who's amazing, wonderful author, and she did some Marvel comics. So she did the Black Panther, Long Live the King, and then she did one story for the Venom verse thing, which was really good. And she did the Shuri, I think it was 2018 comics, which are all amazing. But I'm reading through her Binti trilogy, which has been
Nice.
really good so far.
Nice.
That's awesome. Yeah. No, you'll definitely have to give us an update next week on more info on that because I'm interested to hear about stuff like that, especially when it comes to
Totally.
content. Yeah. So speaking of realms and multiverses, Harv, how's it going? What have you been getting up to?
So we're still doing our Final Fantasy 14 stuff, right? I don't want to focus too much on that because we're still playing it. We're still going through it.
Yeah.
We got to Heaven's Ward, was the second expansion. We're about to get to some heavy shit soon, like real heavy shit in that expansion. Probably one of the biggest turning points in that expansion is going to be happening, or in the game is going to be happening soon. So I'm excited for you guys to hit that.
My favorite movie.
Okay, I'm glad you said it was your favorite movie because I was like, man, why are you holding a poster for a terrible movie?
It's the only realm that I need, Jupiter Ascending.
Jupiter is ascending.
Oh my god.
Have I told that story on the podcast before?
Yeah, I think you did. Oh boy.
Shout out to Tyler. Love that movie.
So the other stuff that I've been playing, okay, so I went into Escape from Tarkov
Yep.
last week. That game is very interesting. It is very stressful, and I play Souls games, but at this point Souls games are stressful to me. But like this game is stressful. It's like you're looking at every single corner. You're trying to look at every single little fucking thing. You open up everything. You got to keep your health up. You got to keep your food up. You got to keep your fucking water, hydration up.
Mhm.
All that kind of stuff. You lose legs, you sew them back on. There's a lot
You
happening.
lose legs,
Yeah, there's a lot.
Yeah.
There's a lot happening.
you get shot in the leg, you're limping for the rest of the raid, bro. It's happening.
Exactly.
Unless you got some lip balm. Put some lip balm on it, you'll be able to walk again for a little bit.
So it's a fun game. I've been 4 for 4 on my raids, so I haven't died yet. But I'm feeling it's gonna end because I plan to play it this weekend at some point. So I'm gonna be jumping back into that. Escape from Tarkov, good game so far. I still haven't put a whole verdict on it yet on my own because I haven't.
Mhm.
I want to do solo raids. I've only done it with people so far, right? I want to go solo. I want to ride that game solo. You know. So
Fair.
the other game that I played about 3 or 4 hours of the New World beta,
Mm-hmm.
which is the new MMORPG coming out from Amazon Games. That game
That's not a true sentence. That sentence doesn't sound real.
Yeah, right. Well, get this. It just got delayed. We're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about it later in the podcast. But I think I'm the only person that's played New World here. I'm guessing, right?
Correct. Yeah.
But it got delayed, which thank God it got delayed because that game is not fucking ready.
Yeah, that's in the news, by the way.
Yeah. So I played that. It's a good game. It's like I said, it's not ready for release. This game I think needs another maybe 6 or 7 months before it's ready to go out. Because there were moments where there were bugs in that game, and then there was also moments with if you have a heavily populated city, you can't trade with people. You can't do anything interactive with people.
Mhm.
Weird.
Yeah, it's like they turn that functionality off because there's just so many people on a server, or there's so many people in one city and stuff like that. And it seems like it's more PvP based, which is not something that I really jive with when it comes to MMORPGs.
Yeah.
Combat's fun though, but like I haven't done dungeons and stuff like that. I want to do dungeons. I want to see how that is. So when it comes out, I'll probably end up getting it and just play it and just see how it is. But it's been delayed till I think the end of September. So I don't know if that's gonna be enough time to fix everything that they've had.
Oh yeah,
I think
no.
it's gonna be one of those things where like we fix how much we can fix, we're gonna get it out, and we're gonna fix everything while the game's released.
Yeah, it's either that or they do what everybody else is doing right now and just say 2022.
Yeah,
Early
like,
2022.
I don't know if this game can afford to go to 2022 at this point because it's been out. It's been like a thing for so long.
Yeah, I wouldn't say like it would survive, but then again, Amazon money. Bezos doesn't even know he owns fucking Twitch, so he's probably funding this game. Like, oh, okay, New World, fine. Here's another $100 million. Why not? Have fun.
The thing is, like, so the combat is fluid. The combat is really good. Everything around it just doesn't feel right to me. As a person that's played MMOs, this doesn't feel right, and I feel like, and it's a buy once, then you have the game. Right? So there's gonna be microtransactions out the ass of this game. There are no mounts at all in this game. So you have to run everywhere. It's just there's just these little things where I'm just like, I don't know what you guys are trying to go for and stuff like that. But I'm gonna probably end up getting it because I have a friend that wants to play it and I haven't played games with her in a while. So like I wanna she's like, "Yo, you wanna pick it up?" I was like, sure, why not? Let's do it.
Awesome.
So and then I've been watching The Crown.
Yes.
So The Crown. This show is fucking good. This show is good. And I don't know if I forgot. I didn't know how manipulative the fucking royal family is and how fucking crazy they are. Wow.
Yeah.
I just got to the episode that he was talking about with the mine collapse. I'm about probably a quarter way through it, so I don't think it's happened. Or maybe I'm in the first part of it, so it hasn't happened. And the funny thing is, I know about this mining collapse because I read about this way earlier, but I don't know the queen side of it and what she did for this one. But
Yeah. Just a quick TLDR. It's called the Aberfan mining disaster, where there were mountains above this town that were used for essentially mining runoff, and they were told multiple times that they were not stable, that there was a bunch of issues with it, and then one day the entire mountain collapsed and it killed almost 99.9% of the people that were in this local school. So all the children, there was
there's like 100 and something kids in there, like 190 kids or something like that.
Yeah,
Wait, the school was
144.
in the mountain?
So here's the mountain like up in the background, and then there is the school, and the mountain like almost
Oh,
like
okay.
a
Like an
a
avalanche.
an avalanche came in and killed 144 people, killing 116 children in this town and 28 adults.
Jesus
I
Christ.
don't want to spoil what the queen's portion is it. However, to kind of give you some insight, whenever they have any memorials or events, she's usually either there in person or she will send stuff there because of certain things that happened during that event.
I read a little bit about it already because
Yeah.
people that don't know, I'm a huge history buff. I love history. So as I've been watching this show, I've been looking at the history aspect of it, of like what has actually happened,
Yeah.
what happened during that time, and why these things are happening, like where the succession is and all that kind of stuff. So, and I read on what her Paul or what she did and all that kind of stuff. So I'm excited to see what they do for this.
It is it's a very difficult episode. I was able to watch that series like there was some times where I got like really upset, but that episode killed me. Like I had to stop watching for a little bit and just like take some time to think about it because I know it's history, but like when you get like firsthand accounts and stuff like that, and then like you just see like what happened and how it affected the town. It's just mind-boggling
The
to
one
me.
thing that I will say, the last thing I'll say about the show is that I got to season 3, a whole new fucking brand new cast, and I was like, "What the hell is happening in this show?" I missed the other character. Why would you guys?
Oh,
do
see,
this to
you
me?
actually
Have
didn't
you
know.
found-
That's
I
Have you
had
found
no
the
idea.
character?
You didn't
Have you
know.
found the
entire cast change?
Have you found the character from The Wire yet?
I think so. I'm trying to remember. I'm trying to remember
I just
if it's from the
enjoy.
first episode, but I'm gonna look it up after. But like,
just-
man, I was just what the. I like the queen. She's cool. The new one's Margaret. She's cool too. Fucking Philip. No, don't like him. But you know what? He's growing on me now.
Is
because
this
he
the
knows what
Matt
is-
Smith, or with Matt Smith was the first one that you guys had?
Matt Smith is this. Matt Smith was the original.
Got
It's
it.
the guy from fucking Outlander for the 3rd and 4th season.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. So I was just. It caught me off guard. That's all I'll say.
Yeah.
It caught me
Oh, are
very
you
off
are you in the
guard.
are you in the
I
Coleman
did.
era? Is that what this is?
The 3rd season. I'm in the 3rd season right now. So I haven't got to Diana yet. So this is
No.
the one right beside.
He also
before
hasn't got
Diana.
to Margaret Thatcher.
Yeah, I haven't got to Thatcher yet either.
Oh, that
My-
jerk.
Oh my god. So it's such
Don't
a
get me
terrible
started
human
on
being.
Margaret Thatcher.
But just like the acting for her is just top notch. Terrible human being, but very, very great. I'm like,
I mean, what prime minister that they've had has been good, except maybe,
Oh, a good friend Boris? What are you talking about?
horse chasing people down
fucking-
the street during COVID, telling them to put on masks.
first dude. Who was the first dude?
I know
That was
I
on
know
the
what you're
show?
talking about.
Churchill. Other than Churchill, even Churchill was an asshole. But anyway,
I mean,
Churchill was on drugs though. Churchill was on some heavy shit.
Wait, who's
Yeah,
the
Churchill was an
during the
ass
Bush administration? Which one was that one? He seemed chill.
oh, I know who you're talking about.
yeah.
Whatever.
Oh, fuck, I forgot his
Doesn't
name.
matter.
I
It
looked
doesn't
up.
matter.
I looked up all the prime ministers yesterday too, and I forgot who that one
Yeah,
was. I know who you're talking
Jenna
about.
is it Jenna Coleman is the new not princess. I'm sorry, the new queen, and she's a fantastic actress. So
She's great. She is
Yeah.
great.
I love her.
She
I love
plays
her.
it
I love her
so
to
well.
death. She's so
I
funny.
mean, she still gives me a slight anger issues regarding one of her previous roles, but that's
Oh, from
another-
Fleabag? No, not
I-
even Fleabag. She was. I mean, she was mean in Fleabag.
I just want to say that I am 100% on board with The Crown, and I can't wait to finish season 3. I can't wait to watch season 4. And we need more history shows like this. We need more of this shit.
Yeah,
There you go. And also watch Fleabag.
yeah, no, very good. All right, Frank, what have you been getting up to this week?
I've been playing this game called Final Fantasy. I don't know if you guys have heard of it. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
So far, I'm checking here. We've got some hours in it now. I've hit 356 hours in this game.
Nice.
Jesus.
We're not gonna talk about it any further. We already talked about Suicide Squad. I've been watching The Wire. I don't know if I said this
Okay.
last time we were here.
No.
The Wire is really good. It's a very slow burn to start with. It took me 4 tries on the first episode to get into it,
Yeah.
but once that show ramps up, it ramps up, and it is one of those shows where they took so much time and effort to kind of detail what kind of goes on in like the drug trade and like police work with the drug trade in these kind of very oppressed areas. And I 100% think everybody should watch that show because nobody is given as realistic of a take on the drug problem in Baltimore or even the drug problem in like Southside Chicago, because it's very similar in the way things are done in Baltimore at that time is very similar how it's done here in Chicago.
Yeah.
And it sheds a light on, because everybody thinks a criminal's a criminal, but you never get to see why they become a criminal. You know what I mean? You get to see the cops land the bad guy, put him in jail. That's it. You never get to see what happens in the court case, how they led up to getting the evidence and stuff like that. It's a very, and it's all kind of more closed on a certain section of it instead of focusing on different like people and like or different like cases, like kind of like CSI or something like that. This focuses on basically one section of Baltimore and like how that evolves from like catching one guy to how it evolves years later once that guy is caught. You know what I mean? Great show.
All
Fantastic.
I
I
wanna
know
say,
about
I
The
just looked up-
Wire is that we all started talking at the same time.
Go for it, Slag. Go for it,
Go
Slag.
for it,
I'll
go
go
for
after.
it.
I'll go after.
Very good.
All I know about The Wire is that Anthony Mackie was not on it.
I was about to say, yeah, he's not on that show.
Do people confuse him constantly for being on it?
So people confuse him constantly for being on it, and then on an during an interview for one of the Marvel movie press tours, somebody was asking him about being on the wire for
Oh,
Falcon,
so
like doing the stunts, and he goes on this whole rant about I was never on the wire. I'm like
Would
the
they
most
confuse
famous
him?
person who
Michael
was
B.
never on
Jordan.
the-
Who would they?
Michael B.
Everybody
Jordan.
thinks he's on the wire.
Is that who they're confusing him
Because
for?
Michael B. Jordan's in the first season.
Apparently.
So this cast is amazing, by the way. Michael B.
yeah.
Jordan is in the first
Lance
season.
Reddick.
Lance Reddick.
Fucking Idris Elba.
Idris Elba in like, oh my god, Stringer Bell.
The only thing I know about The Wire is the fact that
Dominic
Idris
West.
Elba hid his accent for the entire time.
Yes.
And then the second he gets the job,
Yes.
they're like, "Wait, you're British?"
Yeah.
And he's just like, "Yep."
And you know he
Okay.
bro, throughout the whole series, I completely forgot he's even English at all. I
Idris
was
Elba?
like, dude,
Yeah.
he is so
Yeah.
good as he gets that Baltimore accent down, son.
Okay.
It is so good.
So I just looked up who is in The Crown and in The Wire. It's Dominic West.
Okay,
Dominic West.
Okay,
so well,
Dominic
there's the spoiler.
Yeah.
But Dominic West. Okay, so I love Dominic West. I think
Yeah,
a
he's great.
fucking amazing.
He's
actor.
amazing
amazing.
actor.
He's
you guys
great.
have
great as
not
McNulty.
watched The Affair. Watch The
Oh,
Affair. It
yeah,
is
I've heard about that
fucking
show. Yeah.
Awesome.
Okay.
He is in that. He is fucking awesome in that show.
No, one
And
of
the
those underrated
person
actor.
that plays opposite of him, I forgot who she is.
Ruth something.
Yeah, Ruth something or other. I
Yeah.
forgot what her last name was. Man, Affair, amazing show.
Sexy.
You need to watch.
Very
that show.
sexy show.
I will also say there's some very blatant Breaking Bad influences
Oh yeah.
in the show. Like there's a character who shows up who's literally just Gus.
It's
like-
depressing as fuck. Don't watch it. But
Oh
it's
my
so
God.
much good drama, though, Kate. It's so much
The
good
drama.
Yeah.
drama.
If you want a
Drama.
if you want a tame version of it, watch Big Little Lies.
Yeah.
Good God. All right.
But,
It-
Finally. Oh no, you got more, right, Frank?
Yeah, no, that's basically it. Yeah, I've just been watching The Wire.
Oh.
If you haven't seen The Wire, go watch The Wire. It takes a little bit to get into it. I would say the first episode, most useless part of the whole series, but after the first episode, that show ramps up quick and it is great.
Yes. Also, quick Sopranos update. Both me and Frank are on season 6. So
Nice.
nice.
yeah.
we did it. We
got
did
it.
it.
I got-
We're on the
Get
final
the
final
Sopranos
2
ready.
seasons.
I got my cigars.
Okay, we're ready to do this.
Yeah, look at it. Look. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have
So
not
this-
seen that, Nardog. I have not seen that. Sorry.
No worries. Absolutely no worries at all.
We are finally on the news.
We're not because I didn't get to talk at all.
Give me a platform.
Still in
Fee,
what we've been playing.
Rise up like a
I'm gonna
phoenix
go
from
to
the
bathroom while
ashes.
she does this. I'm sorry. I gotta go to
Oh,
the
what?
bathroom. I can't keep it in. I can't keep it in.
All right. So, wow. Okay. Rude. For anyone who's listening, Harv just left during my talk, or at least what I've been doing.
went
for
to get
the
more
past 2
beans.
weeks.
Yeah. If you're listening, Harv is pooping.
I was also leaving. This is great. All right.
I'm here to
Um,
listen to your feelings.
Yeah, I am here.
Feelings would have been
Just
playing
giving
this
you
week. What the fuck, guys?
Justice for yeah, I agree. Justice for free. Can we get some hashtag justice for free
Oh
in
my
chat, please?
god. Okay. Yeah, so Kate and Reagan, I love you both. You guys are great. I have been obviously playing Final Fantasy 14. I've gone through a complete dark arc and it's been going pretty insane. So if you guys want to continue seeing my descend into darkness, you can fucking join us over on Harv's channel later on tonight because I fought myself yesterday as a Dark Knight and found out that I'm essentially the embodiment of evil, but also good at the same time. So it's a whole arc thing, guys. Don't even worry about it. I have been also playing. I play it on Tuesday because and we'll get into the details of some free games that you guys can get access to this month. One of the games is actually Valkyria Chronicles 4. It's a series that I've actually really enjoyed in the past. I played the original remaster. Unfortunately, I didn't play this one when it first came out because it came out around the time of the remaster. And at the time, it was like, I don't really have a job at that particular time, so I'm like, I'm not gonna buy this game. But now it's for free, and I should have been able to buy this way earlier. But it's one of those things where it just like went on the back burner. I wanted to play it, but I just never did. So I started playing it again. It's really great. gonna that counter is gonna go up. As I say, it's anime as hell. It is just too much. It is like, did you know that a sniper is used to shoot at long distances? If you're up close, hide behind a sandbag to negate damage. Take your gun and you can specifically point it, and if you shoot at the head, you'll get a higher chance of taking
Yeah.
out the villain.
Who would have thought?
Who would have thought?
Yeah, who would have thought? Do you guys know bullets kill people?
And then not only
Holy
that,
shit!
the leader of the freaking lieutenant decides, like, this guy comes out in a fucking tank, not just like a gun. He's in a full-blown tank, takes his tank and blows up another tank. What is he upset about? Not killing men, but the fact that he had to crush some flowers, and that the field that once was beautiful, full of flowers, is now been diminished into this battlefield.
So love blooms on the battlefield.
Yeah, he needs to play more Final Fantasy because those dead people can turn into flowers.
And not only that, one of the guys was just like, one of the guys on his team was like, really? Like, you're upset about this? Like, what? Like, flowers? And he's just like, just because I'm a lieutenant doesn't mean I have a heart. It goes, like, it's one and the same. You have to have passion to be able to lead the people. I'm like, okay, like, I get it. Like, this is anime as hell. I really enjoy stuff like this, but at the same time, I can recognize when something is hella silly.
Or
And then, yeah, and I, over the weekend, when I was going through my, my COVID, I don't even know what it was.
Hallucinations.
Yeah, sure. I started watching 30 Rock again. Great show. However, if that the last time I watched that show was probably about 4 years ago, and holy cow.
It doesn't. When it comes to like stereotypes, it does not. No, that is.
It is honestly. I can sit down and say that it is worse than The Office when it comes to stereotypes and just full-on inappropriate comments. And I'm like, this is not okay. Yeah. And I'm shocked that Tina Fey allowed this to happen, even back in that particular time.
I'm not shocked.
I'm not shocked, but at the same time, dude, I absolutely love that show.
No, it's like there are some things that are beyond what I would have assumed they would have allowed on the show. Either way, great show. Other than the fact that I found out that it was produced at the time by a absolute garbage tier company, and I'm not going to talk about the name of it, but found out a company that we've been talking about over the past few episodes. Actually promoted 30 Rock at the time, and honestly, now with everything coming out about that company, not shocked. So here we are.
Yeah.
And just as for the people who haven't been listening, it was Blizzard Entertainment that promoted the show during that period. So thumbs up. Great job, guys. But no, it's a good show either way. Other than the mass amount of terrible things that do like stereotypes and comments that are made.
One of my favorite episodes in the entire thing is it's called Into the Crevasse, which when the guy that played Will Arnett into the crevasse, into the crevice.
That's crevasse rather than
crevasse from the show. And Will Arnett comes in, and him and like, because Will Arnett he plays a gay character in there, and he's against
Jack Donaghy.
Jack Donaghy, and it's just like the way that they like go at each other is just so good. It's so good. Their dynamic
they have like a rivalry.
Yeah, their dynamic is so fucking good.
I've seen clips of that.
Yeah.
Of that.
Yes.
Yeah, I've seen Dwight and Jim.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Yeah, there's been other things, but you know what? I'll save that for next week. And I might do something like maybe talk about something in the pitch. Who knows?
Hey,
there we go. We'll continue on, and we'll get into the news.
Yes.
I'm gonna pass this over to, shockingly, we're gonna pass this over to our friend Mario first.
This segment is called now, at least for this week, Mario's Fresh Baked News.
Yes, I have one
freshly baked from his bakery.
I have one right in the oven. I hope we're ready for this fresh news, because it's not a good one. So glad that this was my first attempt to do the news. But first things first, and again, this.
You're the realist?
What was that?
You said first things first, and I'm like the realist. I
First on the real list. Okay. To go with again similar themes to our last episode when we talked about Blizzard and Activision. We're going to talk about something that's not so fun. At the very least, if anything, if you are sensitive to any of these topics, this is definitely something that to be aware of. There's not a whole lot in terms of it's not similar to the Activision Blizzard, but I just want to at least give those warnings. So let's go ahead and go to our first article, which of course is from Polygon's Nicole Carpenter. How the founders' toxic culture tore apart Fullbright, the studio behind Gone Home, which of course, as we've talked about last week, Gone Home is a very big game that's very important to me in both Sly specifically. So this hits the hardest. But basically, Steve Gaynor, the owner, one of the founders of Fullbright, created the game Gone Home in 2013 with a company that was literally a size of 4 people. It was Gaynor and 3 other people. Since now, as of today, it has ballooned up to about under 20 people in staff at any given time. There's about 20 people running because they've moved on to another game called Tacoma, and now they're on to their newest game, which I believe is called Open Roads, which stars. It's definitely their most. How can I say? It's their biggest budget yet. It also teamed up with Annapurna, which I actually had no idea this had anything to do with Fullbright. And I'm wondering if that was on purpose because I've seen the footage of this game and it looks incredible, but I had no idea that it was a Fullbright game. But essentially what had go ahead.
I knew it was a Fullbright game.
Oh, okay.
I had seen stuff with them. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Sure.
Okay. Essentially, women in leadership positions at Fullbright told Polygon that they experienced constant micromanagement that seemed difficult for them to do their jobs, having even the smallest details approved by Gaynor himself. In 2020, 4 women had left the company due to these microaggressions. Ultimately, yes, it seems that throughout the years of the lifetime of Fullbright, Steve Gaynor has been in constant control, and when it comes to anyone, and it comes to his vision of these games, they are constantly belittled and seemingly just told, no, you're real terrible stuff, and heavily directed towards women specifically, to the point where it was a problem where when it was pointed out to him at certain points that there might be an article written about him that, and he just scoffed it off. And here we are, literally an article written about him specifically. I'm going to go ahead and read a section from the article because I thought this was pretty important. It's a studio that's perceived to be inclusive and friendly to groups of people who have historically been marginalized. It's a studio that amplifies these voices rather than stifling them, at least when it comes to its games and its stories that they tell. People might expect a toxic culture at a AAA studio, but not at a studio like Fullbright. Former employees said, yet these allegations were reported constantly and consistently, and it's because of it the studio has lost a large portion of its staff over the years. Now, granted, 2013, 2021, a staff of 4 to a staff of 20, everyone knows each other. You see everyone in this small space, even if it's, remote, which of course they have to be possibly doing right now. But these people, everyone knows each other from the ground level, from foundation all the way up. Following this mass exodus of Fullbright's employees from 2020 and 2021, the leads remain at the company were tasked with hiring new employees. 2 sources told Polygon that they were hesitant to hire the qualified, most talented women who applied for the roles out of fear that they might be treated by Gaynor specifically. Now, the reason, obviously, that I wanted to pull this up, because like I said, this company, this person actually meant a lot to me, especially when it came to indie games and the idea of starting the small, grassroots company, making something so poignant and beautiful, and has influenced many games since. Has influenced, a lot of Annapurna games, specifically like Edith Finch, that we talk about constantly on the show. It just fucking horrendous to hear that he is this type of person behind the scenes, especially towards women, when majority of his movies and games, most of the games have all just featured women specifically. Gone Home, Tacoma, and even this new one, which is a mother-daughter game. And this is just fucking disgusting is the best way that I describe it. And then when I read this and I was going through it, I was honestly very, very sad because I just did not see this. And then Steve, I've seen him in many interviews because I've been fascinated by the story of this, this guy who originally came from the 2K team that did BioShock 2 DLC, specifically Minerva's Den, which is everyone talks about highly. And he was a part of that team, branched out, made Fullbright with 3 other individuals, made one of the best games of all time, in my opinion, and is a fucking trash person. And I wanted to bring this up because I feel like we absolutely need accountability and to have these conversations coming up. And no matter who you are, that people speak up. Is there, other than this situation, obviously Activision Blizzard, is there been a situation like this that you just you wish versus just not the story? I mean, has anyone else have gone through this in terms of like a figurehead?
It's not something we generally see in the indie space, especially because the studios are so that it seems like whenever there is somebody who is in this position, we like exodus from that studio. And so when people started to leave, I kind of got nervous. Something like this might be going on. So it's really heartbreaking to have that confirmed. And I mean, I remember when I saw the news broke, it was Wednesday because I was in the middle of a game session. Yeah. And I saw the Open Roads tweet and I go, oh no. And then like 5 minutes later, you get the tweet from Polygon about their article. And I was like, all right, so it's happening. I mean, they got out in front of it. They took him out of a management position. I would have liked to see him just gone, but, he's been such an integral part of that studio and those stories that, it's hard to do that in the middle of a game cycle,
So let me I'm just confused. So he micromanaged people? What else did he do?
He would, to the point where it became like there's not a whole lot of details that they don't go into, but ultimately there was just a lot of things where the way that people would feel being in a room with him to the point where like they needed to leave the company. Like he
was just like an asshole boss.
Like to the extent of like just someone that was like only needed like his vision and would not take anyone else's thoughts in consideration. And belittled them at such a,
It sounds like there was a lot of like you're saying, belittling and like gaslighting and talking down to the employees, which can make a really hostile working environment.
So which then causes people to leave, and they leave in mass doses. We're thinking, again, the very small amount of years that this company has been around. And again, the company was only 4 people 7 years ago. So for that many women to leave specifically because of behavior, like when your stories are about women, they're stories about people that are suffering and going through things, and you're causing the suffering. That's what it's so odd about this story and about Steve and his involvement within his games. Granted, I loved Gone Home, but at any cost of anybody feeling that way, like it doesn't make sense. Literally, the game is fighting against shit. So I don't know. It at a level just like, and at a small microcosm, it's not like they're like I said, they're not fucking Blizzard or that. Which again, we're saying now, don't fucking be that way at a big level, let alone a small level. That's why when I preface that it was 20 people, there's under 20 people at any given time. Everybody. From all the way down. There's no HR department, from what I understand in this place. And he is the head. He's the figurehead. He actually was the Twitter handle for many years until finally they actually asked him to, move away from it, where he was Fullbright. Fullbright was his identity. And then for this to come out about him is just very fucked up.
That's a big thing. What indie developers do is like they become the
Look at Phil
Twitter
Fish.
handles.
Yeah.
The guy that made Aerial Knight as well, right? They are the Twitter handle
Yeah.
for the game itself. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You see the same thing with Beautiful Glitch, where it's the studio Twitter, but also a personal Twitter,
Yeah.
which is always fun.
It's very possible that fame got to his head. Like with people like that, when you make something that's a hit, you think everybody else is wrong, and you're the only one who can make something right. You know what I mean? And unfortunately, you lost your role because of that, bud. Maybe you should be nicer to people next time. But
Yeah.
Just out of
Hopefully he learns from it.
out of sheer curiosity, was the micromanaging that he's specifically doing directly towards women that worked at the company, or was it to specifically everyone who was working with said person?
That's what I also want to know too.
So in the
because
article,
it doesn't sound like it's targeted towards women. It's just like he was just an asshole to everybody, and a lot of women took it.
No, they're definitely, and again, I'm paraphrasing just the article. If you actually read the whole thing, they go into certain modes where, they talked about there are just certain elements where it's like they will not either hire women because of the way that people have been treated in the past, but there's also been certain instances where, it's seemingly only towards women for the most part.
Okay.
Like it was oddly like very specific. So that's why it's such like again, coming from the media that they consume from the company to the person writing it, who's
I haven't played the game, so I have no idea.
No, exactly.
Who any of these people are.
No, I know. And then for that person to have their voice be that and project that, for them to be shitheads in the back end, it just doesn't. It's a total misconception. So yeah.
No, for sure.
Yeah.
No, the only reason why I ask you is just because I just wanted to get some like specific perspective on it. Like I completely understand as a woman who works in a tech space and does podcasts and been playing video games for well over a decade. It's just like I completely understand like the differences, because I could like, at least from my specific like experience, like I could say something to someone and they get like either like as even like a like as my day job, I'm being a supervisor, it's just like you'll let someone know like, hey, I need you to do this, like, hey, I'm just reaching out to say that I need you to do this, and they like freak out. But then if a male on the project says like, hey, can I get you to do this, they're like, okay, cool, I can definitely do that for you. It's just like it's very difficult, especially as a woman in a leadership position, to and I am all about like when you like respect isn't like just received, it's earned. But when you are trying to do your job to the best of your abilities and then have people constantly micromanaging you and belittling you, like it's definitely demeaning. And if I was in that specific position, I'd be like, I'm out, like I can't deal with this, because not only are these women like they're in leadership positions and being with a small group, like knowing that this is happening and then just consistently being treated like you don't know what you're talking about. Like I don't know like I will admit, like I don't know all the fine details about the certain situation, but speaking from experience, it makes you feel like shit when you have to deal with stuff like this. And then you start questioning, is it my fault? Or like and these women, like obviously they're talented, they are working in a indie company. Just because it's an indie company doesn't mean they're talented. It means they're fucking talented as hell, because that means that they have the strive to push themselves to be able to create games and be able to make themselves like go further distances. I'm not saying that if you work in a major company that's not what you're like, but you need to have some sort of like at least self-management to be able to work in some indie studios. So it's just really shitty to do that, especially like, God, it's fucking 2021. Like, I understand that this is happening on a regular basis, and we're now seeing a lot of this coming to rise. And unfortunately, I know a lot of people are like, oh yeah, like indie companies are great. And then I've even heard some people say like, oh, this never happens with it. That's not the case. It doesn't matter if you're an indie company or if you're Blizzard. Like, if you're a
Company
shitty
is a
person,
company.
it doesn't matter who or where you are, you're still a shitty person. And it's really unfortunate that these women had to experience this, and I'm really hoping that they have a really like great future ahead of them, and that they find a positive space that accepts them and their talents, and I can only imagine that they're going to go far.
It's funny. I believe there was, and I don't know. Again, we watched the Annapurna Interactive showcase that happened, and there was someone there that was formerly a Fullbright that probably had to deal with these problems and created their own studios.
So stupid.
Which, hopefully that studio will now take on and be great. So I'm excited for them.
Yeah.
But I think that pretty much wraps up this story. So I'm going to go ahead and throw it right back to you, Frank.
All right. Our next article comes from IGN's Joe Scrubbles. Sony says it can now reach a goal of 22 million PS5 sales without shortages. Sony is saying that they somehow acquired enough components to actually hit their goal of 22 million units of the PlayStation 5 by the end of the fiscal year. Sony CEO Hiroko Totoki said during an earnings call that they took various measures to secure semiconductors. And I have a quote here. For PS5 and the number of units to be sold this year, the target has been set, and we have secured the number of chips that is necessary to achieve that. And regarding the supply of semiconductors, we are not concerned. So basically, Sony conjured up a bunch of semiconductors, probably by like sacrificing chickens or goats or something like that. So yeah, they have enough to make up about 12.5 million PlayStations by the end of this fiscal year. So if you can't get a PlayStation out of those 12.5 million, I don't know what to tell you, bud. I don't know what to tell you. They've been around. There's people going to GameStop still going like, how do I get a PlayStation? It's like there's like a pre-order almost every day. You can literally buy one almost every day now. They're almost back in stock every day.
Yeah.
You play yours every day, right, Frank? You still play yours every day? Okay.
Nope.
So,
Mine is a
touch it at all.
$500. Mine's a $500 fucking doorstop right now.
Yeah. There ain't no fucking games. What am I gonna play?
Spider-Man PS4.
I already played it. I already platinumed it. I don't want to do it again.
The only
Me
game that
too. I flattened both Spider-Man and Miles Morales. I'm still
I got
playing.
Cobalt
you
Order
don't
mine.
want to play
I can't do that.
Ghost of Tsushima Director's Cut? You don't want to play that again? You don't want to
No, I got-
Director's Cut?
That's the thing. So, you know what the problem with that I have is that if that was an add-on to the game, hell yeah, I would get it, 100%. I'm not spending another $60 on that on Ghost of Tsushima. Fuck
Yeah.
no.
Did you have the first one?
Yeah, I have it. I bought
It's
it.
$10. Oh, is it a $10 increase?
Yeah, we still have to pay for it. It's bullshit.
You said 60.
At least with
I said
like
10.
Oh,
like
it's
Final
only-
Fantasy.
So it's only $10 on top of what it.
Yeah, since you own it already, it's like $10 and you get an upgrade.
Oh. Okay. Well,
Yeah,
then I
but
gotta go
still,
through the
like
game
with
again,
Final
right?
Fantasy, you can
No,
just
your
get
save
the upgrade
goes
for
over.
free.
Yeah, the save goes over.
But you're starting from the beginning though, right?
No, your save will go over. You have to just upload the save. You upload the
Okay,
save. Have you
I
ever?
have to look
We'll
more-
talk about this later. But just Final Fantasy.
I have to look into what the director's cut actually means.
Sure.
I think that's what we're.
It's final.
Yeah, it's like a new
integrate.
island.
It's integrate.
Yeah.
Oh, it's integrated. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. So it's just separate content.
Yeah. Just
Okay.
integrate.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Then I'll probably end up doing that. Yeah. Then I'll end up doing that.
still to this day, the only game that I was interested in got delayed to 2022, and I can get it on PC. So
Hey,
What game is that?
Stray.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
Stray.
I really want to play Stray.
Hey,
Look,
but we got 12 minutes, August 15th. Let's
I
fucking go.
can't wait.
Hey.
Yeah, I'm playing. Yeah, I'm playing through. Yeah, I can't wait.
Please until it gets delayed.
No, I can't wait 12 more minutes.
12 minutes. I can't
12
wait
more
for 12
minutes.
more minutes.
12 more
12
years,
minutes, I
more
feel
like.
is a definite date. We're gonna get 12 minutes on that date now.
Oh, yeah.
Video game with William Dafoe in it. I can't wait.
Yeah. Willem Dafoe, Daisy Ridley, and who else?
James McAvoy.
McAvoy. Yes.
Good voice actors there.
That is an all-star cast right there. I will
Yes.
say.
I love Willem Dafoe. Willem Dafoe's the shit, dude. All right, guys. Well, yeah. If you one last
For
note,
the
PlayStation
PS
sold.
The only thing that I want to say about the PS5 is like they're supposed to have they said they're gonna hit their quota for this year. Great for them. Good for them. Right?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's 12 million consoles coming.
I also
out
call
by the end of
that-
the fiscal year.
I also call that a no shit you're gonna hit it because it's been sold out for so many times. So yeah.
I think it's 12 million. That's 12 million worldwide.
Mhm.
Right? Worldwide. It's not just America
Worldwide?
we're talking about.
Yeah.
We're white. We're not talking about we're talking about the entire world, not just
Yeah.
America. So 12 million is not that much.
We could probably get a lot more of those consoles here. We'll probably get a lot of them here. A lot of here in Japan and here and then Europe itself, but
It's just
Yeah,
sprinkle it
I
around.
just don't feel like 12 million is that much. But honestly, though, this is the first year it's out, right? Or the
Mhm.
second year it's out.
Year
So-
two,
technically
maybe.
the
Yeah, year two.
second, and they still ain't got no games.
Technically.
Yeah, but again, it's the start of the console. It's gonna
Yeah.
take time. It's gonna take time, right? Because we already know the next. I know the next Final Fantasy VII remake is gonna be PS5 only. That's gonna happen.
Oh,
The
yeah.
Spider-Man game is gonna be PS5 only. Next God of War is gonna be PS5 only. Like you got a lot of these
Next
games
year
that are gonna be kind of.
is actually like filling out to be a banger because
Yeah, Ratchet and Clank was PS5 only already.
Yeah.
So like we're starting to get into
Returnal.
this. Yeah, Returnal was also PS5. So like we're getting to that point. We're getting to that point. The
Yeah.
good the thing about PlayStation 5 is like we know where they stand. Where like next gen is all you're gonna get is next gen stuff, right? Xbox, you could just kind of be like, if I have an Xbox One, I'm fine, right? Nobody. I don't see people like up in arms of like oh, Xbox has no games when you can just play them still on the previous Xbox.
Yeah, you have Game Pass.
Yeah.
I don't want to
Yeah,
hear the
with Game
argument
Pass,
Xbox
exactly.
got no games when you can do Game Pass and play
They have
Xbox
so many
originals.
fucking games. So many games.
Yeah.
So I can see why PlayStation is like the people that have PlayStations are kind of like we don't have many games to play. We don't, right?
We're getting through these games pretty quick, Sony, and there's not a lot coming out.
Yeah.
There's a lot of
we're gonna have to
remasters
wait.
coming out, which is weird.
But this is a typical cycle for new consoles that come out. There's not many games that come out when you first get
Yep.
them, right?
All remasters.
Yeah.
Not a lot
I
of
mean,
new releases.
I would say usually.
Xbox broke it, right?
After-
Xbox broke it with Game Pass.
Well,
No.
okay. Pandemic aside, usually year two is probably the best one, which is what we're kind of in. But yeah, I pandemic.
Any other kind of console cycle, yeah, maybe year 2 would have been better, right? Because of the pandemic and stuff.
Yeah,
Year 3's got to be kind of a banger.
I'm sure.
Yeah, we gotta strike 1 year off of the PlayStation. Say, you know what, COVID, you get a year off. You know what I mean? But like, at least this next year coming up has to be a banger for Sony if I'm even gonna touch this console. Apparently.
Because I played Demon Souls last time I played my PS5 was Demon Souls,
There you go.
and like it's just one of those things where I would love to use this thing. I like this thing. This thing is cool.
Yeah.
It's vertical and shit. But like, come on, right?
Yeah, I need something.
Like if I ever want to like keep my door open, I can use this thing right now. Like, fuck.
Oh yeah. Did you ever? If someone ever like opens your door because you just leave it unlocked, you just throw it at them. It's
Oh,
got blood.
dude, you can kill a person with this thing.
Oh yeah, this thing that thing's ginormous.
Did we mention it's a slow's new week?
Yeah, it's a very slow news week.
I
got
use
some.
my PS5 controller more than I use a PS5. I just want
Oh
to say that.
no.
There you go.
We do have some quickies though that I saw on there. This one's for Fee. Blackpink are teaming up with PUBG. This comes from IGN's Jared Moore. I don't know if you've ever played PUBG, guys, but I will say this: that game's target audience is stopped being the United States. It is now South Korea. It's always kind of just been South Korea now. I think South Korea is the only thing keeping that game alive, which is why this move makes so much
Good
sense.
for them.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. Honestly, out of like any specific group, I like getting Blackpink for a collaboration. I know this might seem like nothing to you guys, but that's actually pretty fucking big.
I
I'm
want to
like-
ask one thing.
Yeah, sure.
How
It's
the
one
fuck?
of the 2
How
groups I know.
fuck did not go, or how did Epic Games not reach out and just be like, go into Fortnite? That's it. I
Well,
feel
that's
like
the thing.
if
Well,
Fortnite
target
did
audience.
that- no, but if
Right.
I really do think if Fortnite did that, that would have been huge for Fortnite. I think huge.
Yeah.
I get the target audience.
Hey, we
thing,
still
right?
got BTS. Okay,
Okay.
BTS could happen.
Yeah. BTS
I
could
get-
happen in
it'll be
I
Fortnite.
get the target.
Smooth like
get the
butter. You know, it's gonna be great.
Great song. Great song. I get we're trying to like hit the target audience, but you want to bring more people into the game, right? You want to bring more people.
Nobody
It's
wants
not
to
just
play that
hitting
game.
target audience. Huh?
I don't want to play that game.
Yeah,
That's the
Fortnite
thing.
has tried.
Yeah.
I mean, Battlegrounds has tried.
Yeah.
They tried with Suicide Squad. They tried with what did they have another
by
like?
the way, Frank, guess what I downloaded today? I downloaded Bloodsport
Oh.
in Fortnite.
But look at the Travis Scott stuff that happened. Look at the Ariana Grande stuff that happened. Imagine if that was Blackpink or BTS,
Yeah.
right?
Oh,
He would
no, for
fucking
sure.
download that in a second. She'd be like,
Mm.
"Fuck you guys tonight. I'm gonna go play I want to go play Fortnite.
Yeah, I know, 100% agree. I don't
That's the
think
audience you want though. You want the fees of the audience.
I don't think
That's what you
player
want.
unknown player unknown's not, I don't even think part of the project anymore. I think he's just said fuck it. I wiped his
he's
hands
working
of
on
it.
his
It's
own
been
thing.
sold.
He's working on his own thing.
But yeah, that group is
Did you know they-
primarily just like it at some point it just like you can tell they just took like South Korean MMO models and just threw them in the game. It's they don't have money for BTS. They don't got BTS money.
Did you see
Be
they
real.
renamed PUBG actually? It is now
Did
PUBG
they?
Battlegrounds.
Yeah.
So it's now Player Unknown
It's not
Battlegrounds
PUBG.
Battlegrounds.
What is?
Yeah.
I was gonna say, what does BG stand for? Then?
So it was Player Unknown Battlegrounds was the original title. Now it's called PUBG Battlegrounds.
Uh-huh.
So it's PUBG.
Yeah.
It's
It's-
Player
it's
Unknown Battlegrounds Battlegrounds.
It's like the fucking meme where it's like shaking my head kind of type shit again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
SMH my head.
I don't know.
It's like I wasn't in the wire.
No, even as
Great
like
interview.
as a Blackpink fan, I'm still not gonna download PUBG. Like it's just cool. There's some cosmetics, and
Mhm.
I'm not invested in the game at all. Like if they did have something like a concert, like they did do with like Fortnite, I might download it again. Like I own it. I own the game. I could download it right now, and then.
But that's
if
the
they-
difference, right? That's the difference though, because PUBG
Yeah.
you have to pay for still. You have $20, right?
Mhm.
You go to Fortnite, it's completely free. You don't have to pay for
Absolutely.
anything. You
Unless
just go in there.
unless you want that
watch-
awesome Rift Ariana Grande skin. Like
Yeah,
I
I'm
did.
But
surprised
that's the
they
thing. When if they ever do a BTS kind of thing or a Blackpink kind of
Yeah.
collaboration, they're gonna have skins that are gonna be right there,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
They're gonna have every.
They're gonna both have black and they're both gonna have pink.
If they ever have the
Well-
BTS one, they're gonna have all the members as skins. So people are gonna have to buy all the
Oh,
members.
on
Let's
let's
Fortnite.
be real here. So
This is where
if
the
you
money is.
if you played PUBG recently, it's literally just turned into a cosmetic like dress up your waifu simulator. That's literally what it's turned into.
Yeah.
Because all the clothing is all female, it's all skimpy, of course. And then it's just here, keep shooting people so you can get these stockings for your character. That's what PUBG has turned into.
There is in the actual video from the PUBG Battlegrounds Twitter, there are definitely characters which they need to like. They put a disclaimer: the faces that are on the characters during this trailer are not available with the Blackpink collaboration. Just as a heads up, the helmets are, but the faces that are on the actual
Yeah.
Yes,
characters are not.
you can
Um,
shoot Blackpink.
There are shorts and there is short shorts with like leggings and stuff like that, which is honestly that is like the type of style that like the Blackpink group specifically wears. So that's on brand for Blackpink. And having
Listen,
obviously
they're not
what's up?
they're not in the streets like Ariana Grande shooting AK-47s, willing to take damage. All right, she'll actually be in the battlefield. You're just like, you borrow our clothing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
And
just
that-
they don't
saying.
go
done
hard
it.
like Ariana Grande.
That's how they've done it. That's how they've done all their kind of collaborations.
You
Can
also,
one of our
like-
thumbnails be Ariana Grande with an
to
AK-47?
be able to get, but we also need to think of like licensing agreements and like to get someone's likeness in a game, especially if you're looking at Blackpink, which I know for like the group here it's not super big, but Blackpink is a multi-million-dollar like essentially you could think of it as like an LLC. Like Blackpink is a company, Big Bang is a company, BTS is also like a specific company in itself because they don't just sell music. Like I understand like here, like they just like when it comes to bands or like music like Ariana Grande, yeah, they're in the game. But people like for example, BTS has a reality show. They're on shows constantly. They're doing like everything else. And by show, I mean there's an actual BTS show where you can watch them at their house in Korea. Like there's a show for that. Like there's multiple things and it's a constant like
Do you watch the
um,
show?
you can watch it
Did you watch
online.
that?
But do
No,
you
I haven't not
watch
watched it, but there's specifically like clips online where you see like one of the guys like eating a clementine every morning. That's how they start off the episodes. It's like him. He wakes up in the morning. You just see like a morning shot of their house, and he walks out and eats a clementine. That's how they start the episode.
Oh, just like The Sopranos, every season Tony has to walk down the driveway, get the paper,
Yeah.
make sure nobody's watching
No,
his house.
there's just it's
Every
a
season.
multitude, and having the actual likeness of like Jenny and the rest of the gang from Blackpink in PUBG that would be way too expensive for
Yeah.
PUBG. If they want to be able to stay afloat, they would not have the ability to buy the likeness of these characters
But
because
that's why I
But
feel
they're
like
gonna make
Fortnite would be
dummy
the way to
money.
go. I feel like Fortnite would be the way to go.
Fortnite's
Oh,
got to
yeah.
be. If you see, okay. By the way, if after this, definitely check out the video of the Ariana Grande. It's probably DMCA'd like crazy, but the video, like, it looks incredible for what they did, and I can't wait for more or acts. BTS sounds perfect for this, and the way that they implement the world, because it's not a normal concert. They're like 1,000 feet tall, and you're flying around them and bouncing off shit, and like, it looks incredible. So, yeah, I look forward to that.
Hitting your target audience.
Yeah.
From just an engineering aspect, as a developer, I'm just like, man, that's crazy.
Yeah.
The way that they can do that is
And it's multiple performances, so if you miss the first day, it's gonna come back a little bit later too. So
Yeah.
that is awesome. I'm sad about this next news.
Yes. On the next news train,
R.I.P.
Saber Interactive's Evil Dead game has been delayed into next year. This comes from Eurogamer's Matt Wales. This sucks. I hate it. I hate
your
everything
time.
about it.
Take your time.
Yeah. It sucks though, because I really wanted something to play this year that was Evil Dead related. I've been waiting way too long. I think the last game we played was fucking Fistful of Boomstick or Regeneration.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Well, you know, we actually had this conversation at lunch. There are too many games, and I'm glad that they're at least being spaced out. This is one of those games because Back for Blood is probably going to take up the spot, and I'm going to be playing a lot of Back for Blood.
No.
So,
Dark, hear me out. Beethoven concert. That'd be amazing.
dude, they would blow that.
Fortnite.
You'd be
Dude,
on the
give me
the
a
piano.
Beethoven.
Give
Okay.
me a Beethoven.
you think those Zoomers would sit there and listen to Beethoven?
No, I would have listened to Ludwig
They
van.
wouldn't. I would.
Beethoven.
That's the thing, I would.
Can I see a Beethoven concert?
Honestly, if they had Daddy Hyden concert, I would so tune in for that.
So good. Who needs Evil Dead when you got family? Not cool. Not cool. By the way, you guys have no idea that you solved our listener question problem by using that, because we could do that for days.
Yeah. Again, shout out to Avenged for that. That was fucking genius.
Yeah.
We need more Dominic Toretto quotes in our.
Yes.
I'm just gonna say this right now. With all the games that are being delayed until next year, it's going to end up being a April Ludgate situation where she forgot that March 31st exists. So she books like 90 meetings in one day because she thought March
no.
31st didn't exist. And this is what's gonna happen. All of us saying like,
Love
you know what? I'm really
that.
happy that these games are being spaced out this year. Next year it's gonna be like, my bank's done. I don't have any money. There's too many games. Half of it, like, these people feel pressured to actually release them now. So now we're like drowning in video games that are available. Like, I get, like, it's gonna be great. But right now, the amount of games that have been delayed till 2022, what games are being released in 2021? Other than like really prime
Halo, maybe.
Halo, maybe.
Maybe.
New World.
Maybe.
New World.
New World is not releasing.
Call of
And
Duty.
what's funny-
Okay, on the next note, we're gonna go to the next one, which is New World. Right?
Yeah, we'll
Oh
get
my
back to we'll come back to this conversation for you because New World came up.
Yeah, New World. That's the next thing, right? Amazon's New World has been delayed a fourth time. Yeah, which is true. Fourth time.
Just
Fourth
weeks.
This is what I mean. The
Jesus
fourth
Christ.
fucking time. This game has
you
to
think they're-
come out now.
What makes you think they're
Chad,
gonna do a fifth? What makes
Just
you think
delay it to
No,
2021.
game is-
Everyone
this-
else is doing
This
it.
is how the trajectory is gonna be for this game. It's gonna come out. They're gonna be like, we're gonna fix it while the game is out.
No,
They're gonna throw it
no,
updates. That
no.
is how this.
You know
game's
what?
gonna
Actually,
go,
so
and this is
I
how
held
this game is going to die.
I
That
held
is
my
exactly
tongue.
how
I held my
it's gonna
tongue a little bit when you were talking about it earlier. But Asmund, I hate to keep bringing him up, but guy knows his shit and he knows where to look. He was doing some reviews on after his playthrough of it and just looking at some Reddit posts on it, and people are surprisingly wanting them to just release the game broken and fix it as they go.
Why?
No.
Who would want that?
No.
I don't know. Let me get this straight here. If you want a developer to release a game just because you can't wait a few more months and possibly destroy all those people's work plus, time from fans,
This is.
you're a fucking idiot.
This is gonna be the same people in about 2 months. They're gonna complain. Why didn't you guys delay this game?
Exactly.
It's gonna be the
Mhm.
exact same
No.
people.
These are the
Yeah.
people who are like, I took 3 weeks off for this game. Why can't you just release it now? It's like,
Yeah.
are you
No.
stupid? Why'd you take 3 weeks off for this game? You debated yourself, you fucking idiot.
Quick question about that. Can I quick side note? If you take a vacation time to play a game, can you just not take the vacation time if it gets delayed? Like, can you take that back? Is there take
Some
backs?
places no.
It depends on the company.
For a lot of companies, at the beginning of the year, you have to put in your vacation request for the entire year, and then maybe you get it, maybe you don't, but then
Damn.
that's your
That's what-
vacation.
That's
what
why
seniority
unemployment
comes
feels
from
like
play
constant
and stuff,
vacation. So that makes sense. Okay, got it.
Yeah, if you take 3 weeks off and you're pissed because a game gets delayed, so then the game can come out better for people who want to play it, go outside.
I know people in the
There's
chat
an
that
open
have
world
played-
out there.
Like I know
Go
people in
fucking
chat
chop a
that have
tree,
played,
an actual tree.
I know people in chat right now that have played New World, right? Like
Yeah.
they're like, because I know Nardog, he's got really into New World. I know like Persia really got into New World and stuff like that. But I know for a fact that a lot of people would rather have a full complete game than them releasing something that is shit and then being like, oh, we're gonna update it as the game as we progress through it. Because the problem, as a person that's played MMOs, the biggest problem that comes into games of these things is content.
Mm.
If you do not have content in the first 4 months that your MMO is out, your MMO is just gonna it's not gonna keep its player base.
I know what you're
It's
talking about. I'm
not
still
going-
playing Avengers.
It's not gonna keep the
As
content.
soon
Like it's
as
not gonna.
Avengers is not $40, I will play it with you. I just really don't want to pay $40 fucking dollars for Avengers.
I know.
Avengers is worth
The
maybe 10.
instant it goes on
Yeah,
sale,
fuck
or if
you.
somebody wants to
It's
gift
worth
it to me,
maybe, honestly, it's worth maybe free to play.
I
with
would pay
microtransactions.
$20.
$20 is
I
a
would
good.
pay
$20 is
$20
too
for
much
this
for that
game.
game.
Fuck you. You
I
even
would-
tried
I would-
it.
15.
I
did actually. I started it up.
But-
if somebody
but-
wants to gift me Avengers, I really want to play it. I just cannot.
If you had a PC, I will.
Yeah, maybe if there's a
This
sale
is-
coming up,
but-
which there
but-
probably is.
The main thing I want to say about it though is like when MMOs are a whole, like Avengers is not an MMO. That's just a shared world thing or whatever they call it. I don't know what they want to call it. But an MMO, you need to have content every 3 months. Every 4 months, you have to have something new that goes into the game. Because people are just gonna leave and go play something else.
Mm.
That's gonna have a better content cycle than
Yeah.
that. Because MMOs, they thrive on player base,
Mhm.
right? That's the biggest thing they thrive on is player
Yeah,
base.
and the player base thrives on content.
Yeah, and
If
they
there's no
thrive on
content, you won't get your player base. You don't get your player base, you don't get your money, and then you end up like Final Fantasy 1.0. I had something to say a minute ago and I lost it. Damn it.
No, it's just it doesn't. The idea of releasing it early, or at least I know that it's been delayed 4 times, but if it's been delayed 4 times, delay it for a longer period of time. Just delaying it a few weeks isn't going to help anything. Having it release, yes, there are going to be a small fan base that are like, yeah, release it now. It'll be fine. Like, you can just work on it. The majority of the people, it's going to be a freaking Cyberpunk 2077 again, where everything's going to be broken to hell. People are going to be pissed about it. And then, especially with people putting MMOs on a pedestal that we're currently seeing right now with Final Fantasy 14, you're going to bomb. It's not going to work out. Like, yeah, everyone's going to play it for maybe like a few weeks, and then they're not going to go back to it. They're just going to go back to Final Fantasy 14 at this point, or just one of the other copious amounts of MMORPGs that have been out for years that actually run smoothly. Because this is what happened with Star Wars The Old Republic. People got really excited about it for the first few months, and then they're like, wait, there's actually no endgame content, so they left. It was the same thing when Final Fantasy 14 came out. As a World of Warcraft player at the time, I watched my friends leave to go play that game, and then they came back to play when they were playing like Final Fantasy 11, and then when I heard about Final Fantasy 14, it just didn't work out properly until they did Realm Reborn. It's just, at this particular point, recognize that your game isn't working properly. Take the beta weekend that they had and realize, you know what, it's not ready to be released, and just take that opportunity to delay it. I understand that there are quotas that you need to specifically meet and that you need to get the game out in a certain amount of time, but like if you recognize that the game isn't good, just go to the freaking meeting with like 2077 and freaking what is it? No Man's Sky and say like it's either we have a good game or we have this. Like which one do you want us to do? Like because
Yeah.
this isn't the standard. Like we've seen what happens when people release finished games and then hope for the best. It doesn't work out properly. The fan base, as much as they're going to say that they're supportive, they're not going to be. They'll turn their backs on the game in like 2 weeks. It's not worth the struggle, and it's not worth like, yeah, you're going to get money at the beginning, but then you're just going to lose it. All you need to do is just be like, hey, for the people who bought it before this particular date, here's a fucking mount that says thank you for pre-ordering the game.
New World has no mounts.
Here's a here's a fucking here's a shoe that has the I was there
Yeah, just like a fucking
sign on it or something
plaque.
like that.
I don't know, a tattoo on your forehead that says I was here before this date.
Just
I don't know,
damaged.
like whatever that might be, just like it just doesn't make any sense to release a game when it's not complete. I don't care if it's an MMO.
What the fuck is that?
Yeah, I will say when it comes to delays, I am kind of glad that they are delaying it. It is a double-sided sword, though. I do feel like when you have a game like this, it has been delayed 4 times. At some point, you guys need to just take a longer fucking delay.
Yeah.
Look, okay.
Yeah.
So
Stop delaying it so many times.
Stop putting a date on it.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Delay it.
Stop putting a date
Stop
on
putting
it,
a
dude.
date on it. Yeah.
Dustin said literally a split gate, which is right now in early access still, but like it has a beta tester badges for the people that are beta testing it.
Yeah.
Right?
let's do
Look at
something
Final
like that.
Fantasy 14. When you beat ARR, the people that have played Final Fantasy 1.0 are listed.
Are there?
Every person that played 1.0 is listed in the credits.
I'm probably there
People
somewhere of my old fucking
love-
PlayStation logo tag.
People love limited content. People love the idea like, hey, I'm gonna get a fucking bonus if I buy it right now. I'm saying this as someone who bought fucking Endwalker 2 weeks into playing Final Fantasy 14 because I knew I was gonna get a fucking mount. Was it almost $100 Canadian? Absolutely. Did I give a flying fuck? Absolutely not, because it was worth it in my opinion. But just give people just like a special like option, or you get your name on the like do the same thing that people do all the time in fucking videos for Patreon. Be like, hey, here are the people who supported us before this particular date when we originally were supposed to release it, or when we were supposed to release it the fourth time, but then here we are. Like, just provide options for your player base. It doesn't need to be an extravagant thing. It can be something small. People appreciate it, but like this isn't the time. You've seen what other games have like. You've seen the trash on the specific like road, and you need to recognize it before you try to bring it out yourself. I'm not saying the game's going to be trash. I'm just saying that like people have died on this road, and you need to recognize that, and you do not want to be the next game that just comes out and stumbles and falls because you want to get a game out faster.
Yeah, I do have to also mention that people are getting mad about this whole delay thing, not realizing that this is the whole fucking point of a beta in the first place, to test the game, let people try it out. This is a version of the game.
But I put this more on Amazon than anything else. I put this more on the company because Ashes of okay. So for people that are not versed in the MMO stuff that is happening right now, this is the golden years for MMOs right now. I will say that right now. This year, next year, and the year after is like the time for MMOs. Ashes of Creation just had a technical beta that just came out a little while ago.
I saw that.
Right? They emphasized at the very beginning that this is not indicative of the final product. This is us just stress testing the servers. That's it. The game is still 2 years out or 3 years out. But they just said, we're just stress testing the game. We're just trying to make sure that people can come log into the game. We can get a mass amount of people into an instance server. We can do this. We can do that. That's it. This is all we're testing. Whatever the content is in there right now, that doesn't matter. We're just stress testing it right now. That's it. If Amazon, if the company that is making New World, I know it's Amazon, but there's a company other than Amazon right now making it. I don't know what that company is called. But if they prefaced by saying this is what it should be, then it wouldn't be that bad. But since this game is coming out soon, it just makes it even worse. It
Yeah.
puts it into a position where what Aaron Guard is saying also in chat is preventing crunch. They're going to be crunching for the next 5 months on this game.
Which is why I think why even delay it so close? It's almost as if the delay isn't necessary. Just delay it into next year. A lot of the you have more time. The game can come out perfect, and you can be known as a game with a perfect launch. I don't see how the money you're gonna make off that internal like whale revenue. I call it whale revenue because every MMO is gonna have these people who, even if it's the shittiest MMO in the fucking world, they'll be dedicated to it. So you're gonna make some of that money back, but you're gonna want to retain the people who love MMOs. And right now, when it comes to PvP, that market is unsaturated right now. And this is the perfect game to fill that void. And you want that to come out perfect. And if it doesn't come out perfect, you're gonna end up like Crucible. And we all saw how Crucible ended up.
Hera.
I was waiting for Hera to just straight up like dive kick Fee. Like a fucking dragoon.
Give me the fucking fishing pole.
I thought Hera was gonna straight up like Azure Dragoon Fee, like just jump up into the air and just dive down like a fucking rocket.
Yeah, I just wanted to keep her distracted because she was running around the room and I didn't want her to like accidentally knock one of my wires out. So I'm just like, because you can tell that she's very like, I want to play right now because I was working all day. So I apologize for the people who are watching and are getting distracted by this. For the people who are listening, my cat Hera is currently on a chair behind me.
Yeah.
And is currently playing with her string toy that she's
The
obsessed
sixth
with.
member of the podcast.
Currently beating that ass.
She is currently taking out this freaking toy like it's nobody's business.
I will. Last thing I want to say on delays. Delays are good. They're really good. I can care less if a game gets delayed as long as that game comes out good. And in a time where we live in right now, where these games are coming out fucking broken, AAA titles, everything is coming out broken. We need to have these delays. We need to stop launching games and having them fixed afterward. Fee brought up a good example of No Man's Sky. No Man's Sky is one of the outliers here, where like it shipped broken.
They're good examples,
but they fixed it.
But there's not.
They fixed it, but it should not be the example that people should follow. You know what I mean? They fixed
Stop
it.
selling broken games.
Yeah, if you're gonna
Don't do
promise
it.
something, launch what you promise. And if you can't launch what you promise, delay it. But don't fucking delay it over and over and over again. If you need 3 years, delay it for 3 fucking years. Sure, the board meeting
Right.
people will hate it, but at least you gain goodwill of the masses. That's just the way it is. And if you don't gain the goodwill of the masses, you end up like Cyberpunk.
Create reasonable production schedules. What a concept.
Mm-hmm.
It's
And Dustin's
not
right,
that
yeah.
hard, people.
No Man's Sky is infinitely better, but again, you have to realize that it did start off as a very shady practice of we're promising all this, we're not. The game has none of it. You got debated into buying a $60 game. Have fun. Your $60 game is not worth that now. But again, it should not be an example that should be followed.
And that's like the one outlier of all games we're talking about, right? We're talking about all these games that launched broken and they tried to fix it and they just never got to what they promised. Like, yeah, maybe one singular game achieved that.
Yeah.
That should not be what you're striving for.
Other than Final Fantasy, Realm Reborn, I guess, is also one of those examples, but also Splitgate is another one where it released on PC, no one played it. It got dropped out on Xbox, and it's now exceeding 1,000 times more than they've ever had people before playing the game. And it's a fantastic game. Everyone should play Splitgate.
Mm-hmm.
I'm ready.
So it's absolutely bonkers. But yeah, that is the news segment. We're gonna get into a segment that I specifically have been working on, and I like the name of the title for this week. It's called the free subscription games, and so these are all the free games that you can get this month if you have specific subscriptions. And some of them are just for free. For example, we're going to start off with Epic Games for the month of August coming this week. So from the 5th until the 16th, you can get a Plague Tale Innocence and Speed Brawl. I know a lot of us. Plague Tale is insane, so highly recommend. Plague Tale's very good. My apologies
get up
for
in that
sitting so
mic.
far away. I'm so sorry for being so far away from my microphone. As you can see, I had my cat. I'm gonna place this down here, for a few minutes here. So yeah, there is Plague Tale. Definitely recommend that. I'm not too familiar with Speed Brawl, but if that is your thing, then absolutely. Next is PlayStation Plus games for the month. There is Hunter's Arena Legends, Plants vs. Zombie Battle for Neighborville, and then Tennis World Tour 2. Probably out of the three, I'm mostly interested in Hunter's Arena Legends, but I don't think I would be.
I heard it's pretty fun from Blessing and Snowbike Mike that it's one of those games that's like get your ass beat kind of games, and I'm interested. Since it's free this month, I might download and give it a shot.
Nice. Also, we have games with gold. So for Xbox from August 1st till August 1st to August 31st, you have Darksiders 3. August 16th to the September the 15th is Yooka-Laylee. And then August 1st to August 15th is Lost Planet 3. And Gargus, the Mark of the Wolves, is August 16th to 31st month.
Yeah. And Space
Darksiders
Jam
is fun. Darksiders is great. Yooka-Laylee is okay.
I'm happy it's free.
Still into it, dude. How many times have we got Yooka-Laylee?
I got
for free?
it so many times. I have so many.
I got it from Humble Bundle. I've got it on I think I got it on PlayStation. I think I got it on Xbox already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, a Space Jam, a new Legacy game is free as well on Xbox. So enjoy that.
Yeah. Nice. Next is Prime Game loot. If you have your Amazon linked with your Twitch account, you do have access to these Prime Game loot. And also a side tangent, if you haven't already and you have your Prime subscription, feel free to use your Prime subscription and your free sub for the month with Point in Progress. You can do so with the little sub icon below our video. So yeah, it's greatly appreciated. You can get Lost Horizon 2, another Lost Phone Laura's Story.
Fantastic game. Play these games.
Is it?
Yes.
There's a lot of games on this list that I was really interested in. That was one of them. Planet Alpha, a normal Lost Phone.
That's the first game.
Oh, it is? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So they're both on there. The one that I'm really excited about is Indiana Jones and the Fate of Atlantis, because point-and-click adventures are my fucking jam. So I'm super excited for that one. Metamorphosis and Secret Files Tunguska is the...
I will not save you on that one. I have no idea.
Yeah, that's absolutely fine. Yeah, so those are the free games that you can get this month with Prime Loot. And obviously, I'm going to end the segment
I
with...
knew it.
Wait, are we getting anime?
No.
We are talking about
Stadia.
Stadia. Of course we're talking about
yeah.
Stadia. Because Stadia is absolutely fantastic. We have 5 games for the month of August. It came from Space and Adar Brains. Killer Queen Black, which I've heard nothing but good things.
Yes.
Grime is one of them. Another is Epistory Typing Chronicles, which if you played Mavis Beacon when you were in
typing
school,
game?
it is a typing freaking adventure game, Sly. And not only that is when you need to do things like attack or use like a fire ability, you actually have to type fire related words. So
I remember you playing this one.
Yes. So words will
I
appear.
remember you playing this one.
It is really good. It's all like specifically like the entire board and your character are actually made by storybooks and origami. So it's like really cool art. The style is fantastic. You're riding on a fox creature. It is really cool. Highly recommend it. It is a trip. I would like to say I'm a very fast typer. And some of the words are like 16 letters long, depending like when you get even
Oh my god.
So I don't even know what's happening there.
What's
but
with all the numbers in the dots?
That was my mouse.
Oh, those you. Oh,
I
weird.
grew up. Look, Fee, I grew up on typing of the dead. Okay, I know how this goes.
Yeah,
It's
so-
the mouse.
Gotcha.
Pressing buttons all the time.
I honestly thought someone was just typing in numbers to count how long it took me on the Stadia segment. So I appreciate the fact that it was just button pressing.
No, that's good.
I gotta do the lost numbers. Ready?
No.
4, 8.
Oh my god,
Jesus.
no, stop.
Yeah,
Quickly, we gotta play Killer Queen Black as a team, as a family.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
we got to play Back for Blood as a team.
That as well.
Yeah.
We definitely have to do that too.
We can all sign up and get it for free.
I mean, I
Thanks
have
to
it on.
our
I have it
homie.
on the Switch. If it's crossplay, I can play it immediately.
Or you can get it.
Oh.
You can get it for immediately if you have Stadium. Just saying.
That is true. We can all play it right after the
Download it.
stream, but apparently we got to go to Harv stream, so we'll figure it out. We'll
What?
figure it out.
I'm just saying we can do it. That's a plan for next week, my dear.
All right,
That's
sounds
definitely
good. We're playing.
I want to give a quick shout out to Mark Forsyth for the Back for Blood beta code.
Thank you for that.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank
We're gonna
you.
play the shit out of that
Yeah.
at some point.
Yep.
When I'm
and
not
the other-
mining
download
cobalt,
it.
Of course.
it's selling skooma.
We gotta get into it.
And the other free games for the week are Valkyria Chronicles 4, well, the month. And then this weekend, for listeners, if you have Stadia, they are offering a Far Cry 5 weekend for free. And you can sign up. You do not. You would need to be a pro subscriber, but if you want to become a pro subscriber, let me know.
You could beat that game in a weekend, so definitely give it a shot.
Nice.
Just give it a shot. I played it. I vaguely enjoyed it, but your miles will vary. Free's a good tryout spot. It's a pretty game.
Nice. Yeah, that is the end of the segment. Yeah, once again, if you want to check out any of these games, you can look online. All of these, except for Epic, they're specifically subscription. They're free that you get. So utilize those free games that you're paying each and every month for those subscriptions for. So
Yeah.
definitely take that opportunity to get it.
Okay.
Okay,
Oh, yeah.
I need to put out there that I need to hard out now at this point. I was supposed to, 7:45 was kind of like what
Well,
mine was.
We're
But-
basically there anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are we good? Like, can we?
Well,
Right
but-
out now?
I mean, I think we can add. Okay, this is suspense for next week. We're gonna tell Sly if they should watch the Fast and Furious movies. We're all gonna come up with pitches.
That is gonna be the two of you mostly.
Yeah.
We're gonna-
Next week's
This is a suspense for next
is-
week.
This is
We'll
suspense.
Sly-
Tell me on Fast and the
We'll Sly watch Fast and Furious.
I'm
One of us is going to die.
Yep. And then randomly come back
Which
in
one?
the series, and no one's gonna know why.
That's right.
It's gonna be really fucking confusing.
Someone's
Right.
going to come back. They're going to
Alert.
die. But in the next season, they're going to come back with a mustache.
Correct.
All right, we're at the
And
end of the show.
Yeah.
But it's a totally different character. Same actor, totally different character.
And I'm going to tell you about my favorite Fast and the Furious movie, the best one of all time, the one, the only Tokyo Drift. So we'll get into that next week, guys.
Yes.
Tokyo Drift's a good one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, it is the best, the only
Frank,
good option.
we never
Anyway,
watched it.
We're back.
And remember, we have a new PiP slogan. Who needs progress when you have family?
There you go.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
all right. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. I'm going to tell you where to fucking find Harv because he decided to leave again. So you can find Harv online at Beard in the Hair. He is going to be streaming right after this. If you want to tell him what he's eating, you can go over to twitch.tv/Beard in the Hair. This is probably the nicest promo I'm going to give him because if I could think of something on the spot and I wasn't tired, I could probably come up with a joke thing about anyway. we're
Investigate the
Twitch-
Armoire
there you
game.
go. There you go. Twitch, his Twitter, all that. Go check out his stuff. He's a great guy. I'm gonna actually compliment him until he comes back, and then I'm gonna actually pretend like I'm
We should
insulting him.
we should actually just kick him out. Just
Great
kick-
guy, good guy.
Won't that ruin the?
You should make a thing pop up
Beard.
before.
Can Mario in post? Can you just put a picture of Willem Dafoe there?
Yes, I can.
Yeah.
Yes, I can. There it is.
Willem
Yeah.
Dafoe, you're so cool.
Man.
Oh, hey, Harv's back.
Man.
Harv, we gave your
Yeah.
outro for you. Oh, you can't hear me right now.
Yeah, he can't even hear. Okay, so Frank, where
fuck
can
that
people
guy.
find you?
Harv, we actually gave your outro if you do want to go.
Yeah.
No, Frank's gonna go. We already gave Harv's outro.
Yeah.
Yeah, we already did it. You can find me here at Point in Progress, where family is important to me. Family is key in survivability. You can find me at Twitch at Kester1A, where I post random videos and talk shit. And that's basically just about it. Oh, you can find me in the streets of Eorzea selling skooma.
Okay,
What?
Mario, next.
You can. I don't know what's happening right now. Oh, Frank just left. Okay.
I'm here.
Oh, well,
Yeah,
what?
Harv.
I
Oh,
kicked
Harv.
Harv
Oh,
out.
Harv. Okay.
Oh no.
Oh no.
What is this?
Wait,
oh,
Harv's
okay.
left?
That's why there's a stream.
Oh, I get it. We're all fucked up.
Okay.
All right, Mario, where can people find you?
You can find me at that Mario Rivera on only on the YouTubes because it's still banned on Twitter. YouTube.com/.
I just want to say there's a watch stream thing that's happening right now.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Hold on
Why?
1 second. 1 second. Hold on. 1 second. 1 second. Hold on. Sorry. All right. Hold on. There we go.
Who
Okay.
needs streams if you have family?
Okay. We're all messed up now. Now Harv's back. How do you find me at that Mario Rivera? And
There's
that's
still a stream up.
just the Google. Find me
we
on
go. Now
TikTok.
we're good.
Find me
Now
on TikTok. Is there a bee in your house? Okay, continue.
Cool. TikTok. Sly, where can people find you?
At Slyclone MC everywhere. And except for Duolingo, we're at Slyclone. Please add me on Duolingo. I need friends.
Valid. Y'all can find me at twitter.com/Loranix. You can also find me here on Twitch. I'm hoping to start up. I know I keep on saying that, but it has been a hell of a 2 weeks, guys. So that's why I haven't been streaming. You can also find me over at Speaking of Stadia, where I talk about Stadia with two of my good friends, Jake and Aaron, and it's just chaos energy. And they're both great guys. Definitely check us out over there on YouTube at Game Source Network and all that fun stuff. But yeah, thank you so much, everyone who hung out with us this evening. Frank, who is your dedication this episode?
Tilda Swinton.
Okay.
Shout out to
fantastic.
Tilda Swinton.
Okay,
Alright.
cool beans. Well, this is episode 22. Look forward to hanging out with all of you next week. And progress.
Who needs
has
progress when you have family?
Family has been made.
Fee gets
No! This is not.
that sounds dirty. Progress has been made. Bye.